Hello and welcome to Intern Insights. I'm Dr. Bruce Finkley, and I'm the Internship Coordinator for Mass Communication here at the University of Montevallo. Internships provide our students with valuable real-world experience, and this show highlights where our students are interning and what they're learning there. Joining me on this episode is Ahtziri Chavez, who interned with the World Games in Birmingham over the summer. Ahtziri, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much for inviting me.
So tell me a little bit about the World Games and what they are.
So basically the World Games is not like the Olympic Games. It's 11 days, multi-international games where obviously the countries comes around and compete with each other. And basically this time it was in Birmingham, Alabama, which I got the greatest opportunity to work with them and for them as associate producer too.
Yeah. So tell me a little bit about how you found out about this internship process and what it was like applying.
So during my internship process, I was actually looking at the billboards and I was like, I wish I can work with them. Then Jay Cofield, my professor here at Montevallo, emailed me and told me, hey, I have this going on, you want to intern with them? In my mind, I thought I was like, oh, it's just gonna be cameras, doing this and doing that. During my interview, Renee Moore was the lady that interviewed me, and we still have contact with each other. She was like, I'll call you in the next hour or so and I'll let you know. I was like, okay. Then, not even an hour, 5 minutes later, I get the news. I'm like, hey, you got the job as associate producer. And honestly, it was the greatest news ever. Like, my phone was muted, screaming, crying. I was actually with my best friend during that time because I was telling her, I am so nervous for this internship. I'm so nervous for this interview. And she's like, girl, you do producer at the University of Montevallo. You got this. I was like, okay. But I got the news and I was like, okay, I got it. And then on June 1st was my first day interning with them and all.
So tell us a little bit about kind of what the average day was like for you working with the World Games.
So so the month of June, we were in the offices and we were literally looking over like what the World Games is because nobody knew what the World Games is. Because the last time we had it was just the Olympic Games was in Atlanta. Mm-hmm. So Atlanta Olympic Games and Birmingham World Games, totally different games industry basically. So with the World Games is basically more of like cultural games and all. So my favorite game was actually korfball, which was originated from Netherlands. Mm-hmm. And korfball is basically basketball, but it's totally different from basketball because you have 4 offense, 4 defense, and 1 side. Other side, you do the opposite. And the basket is basically not a regular basket. It's a little tube basket. So it was really different. We had to do like overviews, research, everything we had to do for this World Games to make it so perfect and so great for the World Games to know what the World Game is and label it as home of Birmingham.
Yeah. So it was a fantastic opportunity for the Magic City to really kind of showcase itself as this destination because there was a lot of buildup about the World Games.
And like the places that were there, like Sloss Furnace was the old industry of the coal mining and all that stuff, and like Vulcan was the mascot basically with his girlfriend, forgot her name, but he had a girlfriend with her the whole time. And like we did one in John Carroll High School, which was Ultimate Frisbee, which was co-ed for women and men as well. And there was another one, it was at Barber Motorcycle place in Leeds, which was so different, so out of no place because I'd never been there. But when we got there doing like setups and all, I was like, okay, I can see why they chose this place for this. So yeah.
So you got to work alongside broadcasting professionals from around the world. Talk a little bit about how you were able to network with them.
So I was actually working with 2 companies as well industry. So it was the ISB, which is the International Sports Broadcasting. They are from Spain. And I got to do my bilingual translation too at the same time because they spoke Spanish while over here, Birmingham, is English. So I was basically the one person communicating back and forth and translating all the scripts, all the editing, and like everything they told me to do, and vice versa with the English version as well. And also I worked with CBS, and I met one of your, one of my
old coworkers.
And he said, because he saw my university sweater, he's like, you know Bruce Finkley? And I said, maybe. Yes, he's my professor and he's my advisor. He is the best, man. Continue connecting.
Jacob Piggott.
Yeah, Jacob.
He was my director when I was a little baby news producer at Channel 13 back in the day. And they actually sent me a photo all of a sudden I get this message, and they both know I'm a huge Star Trek fan, and so they're both doing the Vulcan salute. So how were you able to take what you learned interning with the World Games over the summer and bring that back with you to campus and implement some things into your schoolwork this semester?
So throughout my years here, I've always been involved with the Montevallo Music Machine and producing for the newscast for Television News, but never in my mind I would love sports newscasts. All my life I was like, I want to do newscasts, I want to do newscasts. But turning this opportunity, like going to this opportunity of the World Games, changed my whole perspective of this sports newscast. I loved it. You got to get more involved with the teams, knowing the coaches. I translated throughout the production crew as well, because ISB was in one side. I had to be in the middle between them, and then had to translate to English with the other production crew and all. So like I was like, hey, they're gonna take camera 3. Go, ready, take it now. And like I was going back and forth and all, and translating, and like, and improve my skills as well for like production crew as well, being a producer, because that's what I would love to be in throughout my years. Hopefully get a producer internship again and all.
And this is excellent experience to be able to put on your resume of not just, oh, small town, I helped with it. It's the World Games. The world was watching your work. So I know you guys can see Ahtziri brought her badge with her employee photo, and we see all of these cool pins and buttons. We were joking before the show. I was like, I've just got my little University of Montevallo pin. But those are not the coolest souvenir that you got. So behind the desk here, we have with us a full set of the medals from the World Games. So we're going to let you guys get a close-up shot of some of those. So Ahtziri, what was it like when they handed these medals to you?
So I basically looked at them and I said, this is not real. Like, this is the World Games. The World Games here in Birmingham, Alabama, not only the hometown that I grew up, but seeing it being improvement, seeing the whole country coming together as a united country in a united place and all. I really loved it. I enjoyed the place and all. And like, when they handed this, they first handed me the bronze, and I was like, okay, it's fair enough. I wouldn't mind giving the bronze. But once they pulled out the silver and gold, I was like, oh, this is once in a lifetime souvenirs for me and all. And also like with the pins as well. So like my first pin was actually this one whenever I was translating with Ecuador's team and all, because I was helping them with their camera setting, and the lady was like, here, have this. I'm like, no, it's your last pin. I don't want to take it. Take it because it's once in a lifetime pin.
And it's a once in a lifetime memory for you. These medals are really heavy.
Yes,
when
they
you
are.
went to hand me one before the show, I was not expecting it to weigh as much as it did, but they've got some weight to them.
They got weight. They got like also like all the sports that were there, and like obviously you can see Vulcan there, and you can see Sloss Furnace, Boutwell Auditorium, basically all the places that they went for the World Games. Like every spot has like their own history, their own love and all that stuff.
So this is, I mean, I've been doing this show for a lot of years, and you have brought the coolest souvenir from an internship ever. So,
and they also, in the back, you will see like the World Games logo as well, and it says the World Games 2022, Birmingham, Alabama, USA. So we wanted to label Birmingham not only for the World Games, but for the rest of the people in this world.
Well, and one really cool thing is Ahtziri was just one of many mass comm majors who were interning with the World Games this summer. And you can actually go to our Instagram page at @UM_masscomm and see we've got a story highlight showing what a lot of our students were able to do. So Ahtziri, this is really, really cool. I was excited for you to get this internship and to get that experience, and then to be able to sit and talk with you about it, and I mean, to be able to hold one of these medals. Now, tell the audience what you did do with your medal.
So basically, it was that one. I cleaned it before I brought him here. So with the gold medal, I had all of these medals on me, and I was like, I just the players were binding it, so might as well let me bite it too. So I bit it, and my tooth chipped. So please do not bite medals ever again if you win a medal. That's all I have to say, and that's my advice whenever you get a medal.
There you go. So for any student who may think about trying to do this type of internship in the future, what type of advice would you give them?
I will let them know, like they're not alone. Like, you have a voice, your voice is valid. Talk to your professors, because your professors are the go-to people to get connections. And like with you and Cofield Invest connecting me with a lot of stuff throughout my years here, it's been the greatest opportunity ever. And I just was thankful that I literally worked with the World Games, because I always saw it at the billboards and was like, I wish I would work with them. Next day I get an email, I was like, hey, this is coming up, you want to do it? And I was like, okay. Shot him an email, I did an interview, and I took it. And I said, I literally told myself, I am not going to take no more risk. Like, I will risk everything just to do something. And if it goes good, it goes good. If it goes bad, it goes bad. But I learned, I experienced a lot of stuff throughout my months at the World Games too.
Well, if you're a mass communication major who's ready to take a risk, like Ahtziri did, you can see some information on the screen about what you need to do. You've got to be a junior or a senior, and you have to have completed 15 hours in our major. You also have to have a 2.5 GPA. Internship credit hours are variable. You can register for a maximum of 6, and internship hours are offered in fall, summer, and spring semesters, so year-round opportunities for that. For more information about internships, you can always email me at bfinkley@montevallo.edu, or you can drop by my office here in Strong Hall. You can also learn more about our internship program at our website, montevallo.edu/MC. Just click on internships. Well, that's all the time we've got for today's show. I got to hold a gold medal. I think that's a pretty cool thing. But Ahtziri, thank you for coming and sitting down with me and talking about this. And I get to keep this one, right?
Yeah, you can keep
it.
You can keep it. The rest is for me.
I'll hand it back. But that's all the time we've got. Thanks so much for joining us. We'll see you again next time.